It's game day! Welcome to Super Saturday, the combined affiliated states on NRL pathways. And a not so Super Saturday, we've got just the single game today. No games up in the Northern Territory. So it's just here in Western Australia. We're at Treeby Community and Sports Centre for round 8 of the Fuel to Go and Play Premiership between Fremantle and the Rockingham Sharks. I'm Donny Bell, joined by Dave McRae. Dave, a couple of players missing from both teams with the state teams away. Does that tip things in Rockingham's favour a little bit?
I don't know, but there's a good news story that I think we need to touch on with the Rockingham Sharks. You probably know more about it than me, but a stalwart down at Shark Park, Dale Christie, the Christie family that have been involved in that club for a long time. There's a debut. One of the Christie members, and there's a significant story. I think most people in rugby league WA probably know the story, but you probably know better about it. It's a good news story, and it'd be fantastic to see today. Yeah,
it's fantastic to see Lachlan Christie making his debut, because it was only a couple of years ago. He was told he'd never play again, so to see him not just playing, but getting to a level where he's able to compete in the top grade, the Fuel to Go and Play Premiership, I know it'll mean a hell of a lot to him.
And to his family.
Rockingham Sharks jersey as well.
It should be a lifter as well. As we see the results from last week, and of course the one at the top there, Don, the surprise packet for us is the game that we did. It was the Giants, the Giant Killers. They managed to take the Bears down on their own half. But what a cracking game that was too.
It was a fantastic game, a real surprise result. The Giants turned up to play, and they caused the upset of the season, beating the Willagee Bears 18-14. But another cracker as well was Harry De Beek field goal.
Oh, the last minute.
I mean, we're covering the Fremantle Roosters here today. It's the third loss in a row for the Roosters by 6 points or less. So it's 3 losses on the trot, but they've been close enough, if good enough, in all 3 of those games, and they're starting to lose touch with those sort of that top 2 finish you need.
And it's kind of like it becomes almost like a tradition with losing those close ones. They say in all sports, winning those close ones actually sets you up really well. But if you're on the wrong end of those, it can be pretty disheartening. I know I've been in that place again, and they have to perform today. They have to win today against the Sharks sitting at the bottom, and they've got to win well to get them to keep their finals hopes alive. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not necessarily the finals hopes. I don't think.
Well, keep in touch.
Yeah, so it's that top 2 finish. It's the second chance that I think they're really starting to lose touch with. As we have a look at the fixtures today. The Joondalup Giants, they're looking for 3 wins in a row up against the top of the table, South Perth Lions, because the Lions still on top, but just on 4 and against. And then second v third, the Willagee Bears, looking to bounce back after a surprise loss last week, but it doesn't get any easier taking on the North Beach Sea Eagles. And 4th v 6th this one, and the Sharks, they could potentially move out of last place and up to 5th if they can get a win.
They could. And again, you couldn't have a better news story to boost your team coming to Rooster Park with the Christie story. We spoke about Cass and what's going on there and whether players are out. This is a team of the week, which I love. I think it's fantastic. We see it's a good spread across the board. Only one player from the Sharkies involved in that, but I see Delane Edwards is still at the top there.
Yeah, so
the old man's still going around, and he's still making team of the week.
Absolutely, still making team of the week, but not playing over in Victoria, but coaching. So he's the coach of the Western Australian team, and doing a fabulous job. We'll go through some of those results. Big wins today for the West Australian teams over South Australia, 52 points to 4. But he's not available to play, so he's the third player that the Roosters are without. They've also got Eli Beattie and Ezra Talmia representing Western Australia over in Victoria. Rockingham Shark, they've also got 2 players, Chris Siddons, who you saw on that team of the week, and also Derek Chizuni. The WA reps not available today, so I talk about the fact that you'd expect the Roosters to perhaps have more representatives than Rockingham, but 2 each, and the coach for Fremantle makes the 3rd for them.
Just waiting for the teams to come out. Bit of a delay.
Because, obviously, we talked about Lachlan Christie making his debut in jersey 9 for the Sharks, but I think there is quite a few making their debut here today. Cameron Webb in jersey 1, Ethan Ransfield, Fletcher Saunders for the Sharks, and that's what this round really does. It provides that opportunity for a few players to make their debuts. I know the Sharks have probably had about 15 debutants already in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it is a renewal somewhat for the Sharkies. We know that. This will be the second time we've seen them. Every team's goes through a rebuild phase, but there's a lot of youngsters. We actually see them running out now. There's a lot of youth coming through the program. So as long as they can keep the team together and weather the early stages, the ground set. Hopefully for some good things into the future.
Certainly. Hoping for you mentioned this is the second time we've seen them. Last time we saw them it was a fairly one-sided affair against South Perth. Hoping that they you put up a little bit more resistance here today against Fremantle. The Roosters. They've they have lost 3 in a row. The Sharks, though, they haven't won since way back in round 1. They started the season with a good win over the Joondalup Giants, but haven't been able to get another victory since.
I think it's also the way they've been losing as well. So it's been fairly one-sided contest as well.
We saw the result on screen. A few minutes ago, 72-10. They went down last week to North Beach, and as we see, the Roosters, they're making their way out onto the park. Looks like the Sharks are set up to receive, so it'll be the Fremantle side to kick off. Actually, not sure if the Roosters do have any debutants here today. A few names I don't know a great deal about, but not sure if they're making their debuts. Wasn't highlighted on their Facebook page. So we are underway. The Sharks with first use of the ball. Goes down to Scott, who hands it off. Running into Takakakabau. Also Cameron. Getting up quickly there, Richie Hicks with that first contact. Looks like Worth in a dummy half. Gets it out and turned underneath by Quinlan. Peter Worth jumping in at 9, wearing jersey 8. So the Sharks in this first set. There's another Worth, Damien Worth, takes a carry up towards the halfway line as Rockingham look to get through the opening set of the day, and it's Junior. Peter Worth Jr. puts the kick in from dummy half. So they get to their kick. Now they get a chance to aim up defensively. Tangaloa plays the ball. Now the Roosters up to halfway. Go a couple wide of the ruck. Testing the Sharks' edges. Tackle made by Lawton. Hicks comes in behind the ruck, gets through, gets the pass to Kerr, and he puts it down. Well, that was danger signs early. Richie Hicks just running hard and straight and almost came out the other side.
And that right edge too, I reckon they're going to try and hit that up regularly today. So that should be, as you said, warning signs. That should be a warning to the coaching panel of the Sharks themselves to make sure they close that down. I expect the Roosters to be hitting that line throughout the day. First scrum down.
Feeds the scrum, goes to Scott. Hitting Hoff. Scott there. Just tips that on. It's now with Worth. Swings around in Finey's front. Now Peter Worth out of dummy half. Gets it to Scott, who turns it underneath. And again, nothing too expansive here from Rockingham. Antonelli plays it back, and Scott's going to boot the ball. He puts it up in the air. No real contest, but coming up, Parkinson takes it well. And the ball comes free, and a chance now for Rockingham. Scott into dummy half. They take the hit up.
Jesse, get back!
Slow to his feet. Now to Quinlan. Goes wide. Straightening there is Lawton.
He was in two minds there. Should have gone to his left.
They come back to the middle with Worth, who dummies on the outside. Almost gets through. He lost a handle on the ball, but he's got it back somehow. Worth goes out to the right. Scott fires the long pass. They draw and pass. Get into the try.
Rockingham.
And it looks like Landon Johnson has scored in the corner. And the Sharks have first points on the board.
Well, that was good, first use, and we've seen a couple of handling errors from the Roosters now. So getting a bit ahead of themselves, I think. But that's, for a developing team, when you have those opportunities from handling errors, especially deep inside the opposition territory, you've got to take advantage of those. So that's good. They only needed 3 tackles to score that as well. So some great start for the boys in light blue.
Certainly was.
You mentioned in that hit up play as well, not a much expansive play, so just a bit of, just hit up, move the ball up the ground. I would think with a younger side as well, maybe once they get that confidence, get their process in play, maybe they can be a bit more expansive, not towards the back half of this game.
Again, when they're coming out of their own end, they're playing simple footy, getting to their kick, putting it down the other end, and let Fremantle make mistakes.
Exactly.
Because Fremantle
100%.
are always a team that are going to make mistakes and give you opportunities.
100%. Well, that's smart footy so far in the first 5 minutes. So
they came down this end, and it was a good shift out to that right-hand side, a little draw and pass from George Hoff. Pretty poor defence, really, from the Roosters. They had enough numbers there. The winger just got a little bit more interested than he needed to defensively, and gave Landon Johnson too much room. And he dives over. It was a quality finish.
It was great. And the pass as well that set him up was just fantastic. It's a great start for the Sharkies.
5 minutes in, 4-0. Now the Roosters kick off and get us back underway. And the Sharks, well, let's see if they stick to the script and just work it through that middle third. They go wide from dummy half.
Backwards.
Lucky to get away with it. Well, they've done well in the opening 5 minutes, keeping it simple down this end of the field. And the first time they try and do something a little bit more than that, they almost come up with an error. So back to the game plan now. Just working behind the ruck goes Antonelli. Put down, will play it back to Worth. Worth goes to Scott. He'll boot the ball early in the count. Well positioned Parkinson. Sits up nicely for him. Oh, good hit. Around the grounds for Cash Converters, the only game that is giving us updates so far. The North Beach Seagulls leading the Bears 4-0. As the Roosters try and go around the outside. The Sharks, they adjust well enough. Got a bit of a compressed defensive line. Maybe something the Roosters will look to target there, and just went back through the middle of the ruck there, Rockingham, and forced the error. Play broke down, referee forced to give the penalty.
That's an easy thing as well. Play that smart footy, just complete your sets, get the hit-ups, but don't give away those sort of penalties. You don't want to give the Roosters one of those ties that just can punish you from nothing.
It's not nothing now. They're down in good field position for the first time in this game. Trent Griffin with the first carry. Now hitting back in behind the ruck again goes Richie Hicks. He's had a couple of good carries already. McKay at dummy half, goes across the face. Catch pass, hits the deck. Solomon on the bounce.
Good line speed, defensive pressure.
Broke down a little bit there for Fremantle, and Tugger Kakabau does what he does. Tries to get him going back in the right direction. They hold the ruck again. McKay from dummy half, and it goes to Kerr. Takes on the line, bounces out of the tackles, and gets to the line to score. Well, he just decided he was going to do it all himself. They overread the situation there, Rockingham, and the Roosters, they bounced back. It's 4-4, kick to come.
Yeah, Sonny cared to give him half an inch, it'll take a mile. Saw just half a gap on his left. Didn't need the invitation. Just took it.
The Sharks out, perhaps adjusting to what he was going to do rather than worrying about the bloke with the ball. And
you can only play what's in front of you. You can only control what's in front of you too. So there's no point trying to predict, especially you've got, like I said, this Freo team which we've seen for almost a good part of a decade that can just create something from nothing. And again, their first opportunity off a Sharkies mistake inside their own zone, and they punished them.
Certainly been a very good team for a long time. The Roosters going through their own transition, of course. Delane Edwards at the helm for a long time, and even though he's still playing, he's not the coach of the side anymore. Dwayne Butler with that role. Haven't seen him as a player this season. He's been out injured for all of the season. He was injured round 1 when I saw him, and I don't think I've seen his name on a team list since. So that one's waved away as well. So 4-4 on the Cash Converters scoreboard. 10 minutes gone.
Well, as early in his coaching journey, it's probably a good thing that he's not spending as much time actually on the grass, because it could be a big adjustment going for a player to coach, especially someone like Dwayne Butler, who's been up and abouts for a long, long time. He's been a major part of the past success of the Freo Roosters.
We do have some updates from the other grounds now, around the grounds, courtesy of Cash Converters. The Joondalup Giants have scored first against the South Perth Lions and lead 6-0.
So just quickly, I mean, I'm still in awe at how well they played last week. So it could be one of those fly out cycles they've got their main back. But if they continue on where they left off with their last week, I mean, they should be moving up the ladder.
It was a very, very good, resilient performance from the Giants last week, and scoring first, looking for 3 in a row. As the Roosters, they get to their kick from inside the 40. Kerr has driven that down towards the sideline.
Didn't get the bounce.
The handbrake just came up on the ball. The Rockingham Sharks, they've installed a little driver on top of it. Got the result they needed. Almost the perfect set after points from Fremantle. Rockingham, they get the ball, bringing it out of their own end with the try scorer, Johnson. Go over to the right-hand side. Hoff just tips it on. Worth out of dummy half again to Hoff, who's caught a little high, slipped up. No penalty forthcoming, and lays in the ruck. He's just sat on his leg and refused to get up.
Bit silly.
Well, late in the count.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. There's no need for it. They're not interested in going overly quick with their play the balls today, the Sharkies. So just let them play. They're just trying to play some black and gold rugby league at the moment. Let them play that. There's no need to give them additional field advantage.
Seemed to be a strange one. Hold your hands up, but still.
He's bobbled that, and he was too interested in going on with the marker, and his boot is made connection with the ball.
Yes, you're 100% right. Damien Worth didn't like something that happened in that tackle, and he just wanted to push the marker. He comes up with a mistake.
Yeah, not actually sure what was the issue there. Didn't need to go on with that.
Richie Hicks whispering sweet nothings in Damien Worth's ear and
sharing recipes.
Got the result that he wanted to. Now with Cameron. Put down in the centre of the field. It's McKay. Dummies almost go through, does go through. Now looking for support, finds Cameron. And that's Leighton Cameron. That's put down, and the Sharks too long in the tackle, give away the penalty. The Roosters will want to tap quickly and play a bit of up-tempo rugby league.
Well, here we go.
Solomon kicks into touch. They'll look to set something up. Carve up.
The referee won't let him go quickly.
No, he's got to slow it down a little bit, so he eventually taps it. Tugga Kakabau doesn't get the best of passes. And once he's got the ball, he gets into top speed pretty quickly. Richie Hicks is lined up for the next carry. Tries to be a little bit more fancy with his footwork. He's played a power game up until now, and the ball's come free, and I wonder if Damien Worth will come over and let him know.
I like that. I like the interaction there. That's good. That is good. Look, that's a relieving opportunity here for the Sharks. You don't want to give the Roosters field position there.
No, there was certainly an opportunity for the Sharks to go to the front. The Roosters to go to the front for the first time in the game, but Rockingham defence shows a bit of mettle. And now they've got a tough job bringing it off their own line because the Roosters are looking to aim up defensively. The ball comes free. How's it come out? Looking to touch judges, looking to in-goal judges that don't exist, looking to the commentary team. Somebody help me.
I tell you what, we've got butterfingers from both sides at the moment. The ball handling has been not great the last 10 minutes or so. Well, each side doing the other the favour.
Kieran Lawton was looking to everyone for some sort of assistance there. By giving another opportunity to the Roosters. This is danger times. Solomon, he almost goes through the gap, has the arm free and thought about an offload. I don't know whether any of his teammates were aware of it, so he pulls it back in. Tugga Kakabau. He goes forward. Play it back to McKay. McKay goes to Kerr. Kerr dummies to the outside runner and again slices through, and he's got himself a second try in this game. And the Roosters, well, they don't need too many invitations. They take the second one. It's 8-4, kick to come.
Wasn't much to it either. You see here on the replay. We'll take it. Just double pump to his right. Was it all enough? Like the best in the game.
And they had that player on his outside shoulder, which held the outside defender. It meant that Michael Howe had to make that tackle, and missing that one-on-one tackle, that was all it took. Wait for kick to come. We haven't seen a successful conversion as yet.
There's no excuses. Well, this one's probably the easiest. No excuses today. There's not a breath of breeze. You can see the trees in the background there. Really still day. If you're watching from interstate, it's a perfect. What is it? Winter? It is winter. Perfect winter's day in Perth. Beautiful one day, pouring the next. You never know. Currently.
Well, I mean,
but we have
been pretty.
We have been wet.
We've got nothing to complain about because we've had almost no rain compared to the eastern states. And that kick, it does go through, despite the oohs and ahs of Dave.
Just slotted it. You see again. Oh, just like this, the pump there. Had him on his right. So great setup. Reeled him in. And he's got his double.
Well, he's been dangerous every time he's got the ball. So just having Trent Giffen on his outside shoulder. That was enough to get Damien Worth interested. Sonny Kerr, too good in that one-on-one battle.
Both Freo tries at the moment have come from Sharks' mistakes. So penalties that have put them in pretty tough field position. So just need to sharpen up on their discipline and ball handling.
Richie Hicks, he's had a strong start despite the error a few minutes ago. Here's the first carry back. Now going back in behind the ruck. Worth is up to make the tackle along with Lawton. There's McKay, he's been dangerous out of dummy half as well. Gets collared by Worth. The Damien variety. And now a Worth of the Peter variety gets up to put a big shot on Junior Takakakabo. Kerr, he tips it on. The Sharks get up quickly to put some pressure on, and they find some space on that outside edge. It gets in behind Webb, and now getting through to Cameron. Cameron gets it to Solomon, and Solomon will set sail for the line and will dot it down under the sticks. He gets a big push in the back after he scores.
Well, it looked spectacular. I don't know how clean it. If we're just sharing some recipes there in the huddle.
Well, I don't know whether the push was necessary well after he scored the try.
But just have a look at it here. So it's a good kick. He's gone inside in field position there, and I didn't like the chase. And then he had plenty of numbers. Again, plenty of chase from the Roosters. I didn't like the chase coming back from the fullback, Cameron Webb.
Yeah, probably could have done better. On debut, Webb.
So you need more from your fullback. He was a bit too lackadaisy for me.
Needed to show a little bit more urgency, get to that ball before allowing that horrible bounce. The last bounce was a shocker. He got to the ball in time, but then the bounce bounced up over his head, and by not showing that urgency initially, he put himself in a situation where that could happen.
It was a great kick.
Well, I mean, always good in rounds like this where you are missing a couple to have a guy of the class of Kerrod Hignett to be able to come in and do things like that.
And I guess that's the difference between a side that's, it's been together for a long time versus the Sharkies, who are building a lot of debutants. You just know your team. That kick off the boot into the right inside centre field position, you just knew you're going to have the runners.
$16 points to 4.
So
20 minutes gone.
The last 12 or so minutes, the ball's been down this end too much.
Well, again, I mean, it was actually a pretty good defensive set from the Sharks, and then they came up, as you should, to put pressure on the kick on the last. And because they put pressure on, they were able to find some space to the outside, and there's a bit of luck involved in that bounce of the ball and things like that led to the
that's
try.
what I said. It looked like it was spectacular, but there's a fair bit of luck involved there. But you do make your own luck. Again, the chase, the numbers coming up on the left.
Well, the Roosters do it too often for it to be luck. Go around the grounds, courtesy of Cash Converters. The Willagee Bears are in front, 8 points to 6 against the North Beach Seagulls, and South Perth have also reversed the scoreline at Admiral Park. They lead 12-6 against the Joondalup Giants. Back here, 16-4. The Roosters over the Sharks after trailing 4-0 early. They get to their kick, and again from inside the 40. Won't get the bounce. A little bit more urgency on this occasion from Webb. Gets to that as on the first bounce and carries it back into contact. Looks a live wire type, not the greatest of initial involvements. He'll bounce back from that, I'm sure. Where the dummy half goes Christie. Hands it off now, out to Howe. Tries to fight through that tackle. One turned underneath. With Antonelli. Ball's come out.
There was 2 in the tackle. No.
Ball's come out, and they said give it back to him.
Well, I don't understand.
They haven't said it's a strip.
How is that not a penalty? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Christie's got the ball back, still the last, tries to get a pass away,
and it's called
and the Roosters
again.
come up with it.
No, it hasn't. No, I don't understand how that's not a penalty.
Well, I mean, the ruling, the only way that he can give the ball back to the player is if he said there's an offload that there's then he's passed it to them. Not strict.
So, yeah, I think the Sharkies have been done by there.
I think the Roosters felt like he dropped it.
Yeah.
And the Sharks felt like he
either way.
stripped it.
It's either a strip or it's a loose carry. It's, you can't
just give it back to him. Yeah, exactly right. Now a penalty to the Roosters. Well, we had a late tackle opportunity for the Sharks where we feel like they should have got a penalty. Didn't. And then in the next set, the Roosters get a chance and they'll go right on the attack. Kalukava with the first carry. Now Cameron. Put down onto his back by Hoff. Now to Cameron. Cameron out to Gibson. Gibson stands in the tackle. Now McKay to Kerr. Kerr fires it out to Parkinson. Parkinson to Hignett. And good defence there, getting up and shutting that down. Now Gibson. Caught it flat-footed, gets an offload away. It's knocked down by Worth. Well, I think again he's going to say he passed it after I called held and gives it back to Brad Gibson. The stab there from Kerr is caught in the slips by the Sharks.
Heard the comments from the sidelines.
Well, I think that one actually probably works out well for the Sharks, because if it was a pass, I think it was knocked on by Damien Worth and it went backwards from Gibbo. Now Howe taking it forward for Rockingham. Griffin just looks up at the referee and asks for instructions as to when he should get up. Now Wood put on a good shot in that last set. The Sharks kicking from inside the 40. I'll use the boot there, Parkinson. Does well enough and picks it up and then tries to attack straight away. Able to run a long way. Well, eventually they make the tackle. Now the Roosters up towards halfway. To get out of dummy half. Picked up and driven backwards. The Sharks get some numbers in the tackle. Some Ransfield out onto the field for his first minutes as a Shark. That's tapped up and well taken there by Quinlan to his own advantage. Well, that easily could have ended as a knock on. Instead, the Sharks have got the ball in good field position with Ransfield. He's put down. Plays it back to Christie. He goes across to Webb, who looks to straight and almost goes through. Webb will play it back. Comes to Quinlan inside with Ransfield again. Fighting forward. Now it comes, goes out to the right-hand side.
Oh, that's a high tackle. Come on, referee.
Kalukava getting up over the shoulder with a seatbelt tackle, all clear. Scott puts the kick across field, allowed to bounce, it sits up, the pass back inside, the hook shot over the top, hits the deck from Saunders, and a chance goes begging, but that was a beautiful bounce there for Scott. And it looked certain to end in a try. The Roosters scramble well enough, and they do just enough to prevent the Sharks' second.
Yeah, I thought just that last pass, not enough on it.
I was just looking for that last ball runner support on the inside. Couldn't quite find it as the Roosters, they get through that set. Come back to the kick from Kerr, who puts it up. Never easy to take, and Cameron Webb, well, he's the best in the business, Sonny Kerr. And you could hear the crowd through the mics. Oh! Yep. And that just puts even more pressure on the fullback.
He's had an indifferent debut so far. He actually had a good run in that first set and actually set up almost a try.
He certainly looks dangerous with the ball, but some of his defensive plays at the back won't be something you'll want to put on his highlights reel. But I reckon he might have a moment or two in this game. There's a juggle there from the Roosters. Somehow gets it back and then bounces the ball.
Someone in the crowd didn't like it, and I might have to agree with them.
Oh, I don't. I think it was fine. He juggled it and then he gets it back. Like it never touched anybody else.
Fair enough. Let's have a look at it again.
Have a look at the replay. Juggle.
Okay. Maybe.
The only question was whether it touched another shark before he got it back, and then he bounces the ball anyway.
Dropped the pill regardless. So.
Ariki. Interesting first involvement. It was full of high drama. The juggle went through, almost scored, and then dropped it. Fletcher Saunders there with an ordinary play of the ball.
I reckon he's a bit lucky there. He's a bit lucky there.
Well, they due a bit of luck, I think.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way, but they get out of their own end now. I hope they do. Oh, no, they do.
Well, he's taken off as much as he possibly could with that touch finder. And having a look at the replay, I think the referee was right. Brad
100%.
Brad Gibson, he knows exactly what he's doing there, using his knee in the ruck.
100%.
Now Quinlan dummied a couple of times before giving it to Worth. Worked really hard. Now to Scott. Scott goes wider, goes out to Webb. Webb again looking to straighten. The Roosters are going to have to keep an eye on him. Solomon and Cameron do on this occasion.
They really like that far edge, the Sharks, at the moment.
George Hoff has done some good things, looking involved. And a great pass out to Wood. Wood with a bit of room to move, steps back inside. Hignett gets away from him, still going, and they're reaching out, scoring the try. Kendray Wood. Well, he did it all himself.
That is one you want to play on repeat on his highlights reel. Well, we just seen one of the tries of so far, one of the tries of the season, Don. How many tackles did he have to break to get through that? Did not stop. Let's count him. Here we go. It was a great ball in. Gets through that one. Pushes off again. Almost loses his feet. I don't know who we got. Who is in the four for Freo? They had two bites of the cherry. Couldn't take him down.
Garrett Hignett.
Garrett Hignett, there you go.
One of the best defensive centres in Western Australia, and he beat him 3 times.
Yes. That is one you want to put on the highlights reel. Put it on repeat. Well done. The young fella. He's got a big future in him too. I
was wondering what happened there. I thought you were counting and then you just stopped.
No,
you got to 2 and then
I had a look at my team
forgot
sheet.
What was next.
I had a look at my team sheet and then there's no name and I was about to go and so I couldn't read out not available, so I had to refer to the master yourself, Don. So
good try from Wood. Conversion attempt now from Lawton. No more than competitive. So far the Sharks. Just over half an hour gone. Although that one stays out to the left, well out to the left. So 16 points to 8. That's a pretty big miss. 32 minutes gone, so 8 minutes until half time as we have another look.
There it is.
1, 2. Almost falls over.
3.
Beats Hignett again.
4.
And beats Parkinson as well.
Ball carry too was great. He's a big fella too.
Big fella, moves well.
Wouldn't want to, when he puts some more size on, he'll be a tough one to. Well, he's a tough one to stop now. He's got a big future in the game.
It was a great pass actually in the lead up to that as well.
It was a great pass. I thought he was going to go straight through there, but he's just done a bit of a goose, just ducked inside. But yeah, it was an awesome pass, and he came off a run as well.
Now Worth from the kick-off. Can they get another one here before the break? Gives a real score line. Just look to get through this set though, you would think. As Lawton's picked up, wrestled around onto his back and spending too
100%.
long there, Trent Griffin.
Absolutely agree.
Just tried to dominate there in the ruck, but he just spent a little bit longer there than he was entitled to. So he just kept working here.
There's no need for that.
Works him over, back live now. Stepping up is Ransfield. Quinlan. Hit over the top by Lateru. Now with Scott. Short pass and knocked on. Well, he's going to try and claim that he got it back, but I think the referee's got this right.
I think it did actually touch the marker. I don't know if we'll see it again, but yeah, I think it touched his opposite number before he actually got it back. We'll see it again on replay. So there, yeah, he took a touch there, I reckon.
And again, like he will certainly feel like he got it back, but it hit the shoulder there of Leighton Cameron before he got it back. Ruled correctly as a knock-on as the Roosters look to shift it straight from the scrum win, and an important tackle that had to be made there by Saunders. He works from marker as well as the Roosters go down a short side. Quick play the ball. Gibson. He loves to quick play the ball. On the back of that, he makes plenty of metres, gets a quick play the ball of his own, and now Hignett is rolling forward. Well, this is a type of footy that the Roosters love to play. Gibson with an offload, down around the bootlaces though, put some pressure on. Well, it's the second offload from Gibson where he's put pressure on his teammates. That one doesn't end well for them.
It was great up to that point. They were going a mile a minute. I thought these are in trouble here for the Sharks, but just that last pass.
The Sharks with a bit of sloppiness in this set so far as well. There's Webb. He looks to find a tired defender or two. Plays it back to Christie. Works down a short side. And again the ball comes free. Kicks it away in frustration, disgust with himself, and it gives the Roosters a really good chance in the last few minutes of the opening 40.
Not a great crowd at Treeby. Probably down as on normal numbers.
It's Kerr, he's got two already, he almost goes through. Desperate tackle. Go for a run out of dummy half, and Quinlan there flings him to the deck. Now Solomon goes open side to Cameron. Cameron put down. Lateru to dummy half. Goes to Griffin, and Griffin puts it down. Scores an imaginary try in the corner. We get another look at the error.
Relay for the Sharks. Just there.
Well, you're going to claim that he kicked it, but
no, he was looking at he wasn't looking at it. He was looking at the gap.
So it's the Billy Slater rule. You've got to actually mean to kick it now. Rockingham let off the hook once again. So 16-8 the Roosters lead on the Cash Converter scoreboard. Rockingham will look to get through this set. So go to Scott. It's that right-hand side with Johnson. Short little interchange of passing with Ransfield and Worth. Now Scott, pass across the face to no one in particular, and Hoff had to work hard just to get on the ball, but he can't stop himself from going into touch. I think the pass was actually meant for Landon Johnson. He pulled his hands out of the way.
Yes, you're right, yes. And it just looked over his shoulder. Is that for me, bro? Yes, it was.
It's just a sloppy end of the half from Rockingham. And they're giving the Roosters a chance to extend this 8-point advantage as Cameron goes to Kerr. Kerr gets it out wider, getting up quickly and shutting it down is Wood. Wood's done some good things in this half, but they come down this side again with Hignett. Hignett puts a kick in behind, attacking the ball. There, Cameron Webb. Well, he's had a few moments in this game. The ball comes free there. It just spews out. The referee says that he's dropped it. Well, something had to have helped that go 15 metres away from where he had the ball.
And he done...
Have a look at the replay and see if it does get any help.
Oh, I think he's, actually 100%.
I think Trent Griffin has just gone
100%.
Little sneaky rip, and it's popped out. He's got away with it. Solomon. That's been ripped out, and I think that was a little more obvious, not quite as subtle as Griffin's. They're saying 2 points.
Yeah, they'll go for the toe because I think that is that'll be the siren soon.
There's not long left on the clock. And they decide to take the two to extend this to a 10-point lead at half time. And, just while they're lining it up, I might have a quick look and see the scores from around the grounds. South Perth 24-12. Leading Joondalup, and the Willagee Bears 18-6 as that penalty goal is successful, and the halftime siren has sounded here at Treeby Community and Sports Centre, and it will be the Fremantle Roosters to go to the break leading 18 points to 8. Good first half. The Sharks scored first, but the Roosters then piled on a few tries of their own. Sharks struck back. We've got a contest, just a 10-point ball game. We'll take a break for 10 minutes and be back with the second half. See you then. Well, g'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for the second half. There's fuel to go and play Premiership round 8 clash. When the Rockingham Sharks and the Fremantle Roosters, it's the Roosters at home and leading 18 points to 8 at the break. A big second half to come. Important one, you think, for both teams. Especially looking around the grounds, the Willagee Bears up 18 points to 6. Makes his competition a little bit closer once again. If they can hold on to win, because the Roosters are far from home in this one, as they get first use of the ball. Try and extend the 10-point advantage after the penalty goal. Right on half-time. Made it 18-8. Getting up quick there, Lawton. Puts a shot on.
Drop, Landon, drop.
Now Cameron. Good carry there. And they get to their kick through Kerr. Taken well. Taken nicely there by Scott. Runs back in field, he gets spun around, twisted in the washing machine. Thrown down without mercy there from the Fremantle Roosters. Heavy contact as Webb fires through, finds his front. Christie looks towards a blind side. Quinlan turns it underneath. Wood put down. Now with Ransfield. He plays it back to Christie. They work down the short side. Quinlan puts the kick up. Leaping high and taking it very well there, the Roosters. Losse gets up. Takes it nicely. Now Parkinson. Diffuses a dangerous situation. Again, getting up quick. I think it's Hoff that time. Taking a lot of time away from the Roosters. Kalukava stands in the tackle, had the arm free. Last little effort there from Emery. Just a little push on the head right at the end after a good defensive set.
Finish saying it. My fault.
Well, I mean, there's someone that's coming through the effects, Mike, that's said no penalties, pretty much this entire second half for 2.5 minutes, and he stopped saying that, so maybe he's to blame. He's just got to keep saying
we've got an injury, got someone down.
Just got left behind there, Hoff.
It's a head knock, I assume it is. No, what are they doing? Moistened his shoulder. I think he's all right. So he'll go back up again.
Shake of the head.
Oh, it's a stinger. It's a shoulder. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just moisten the shoulder is fixed it. Puts the fire out that it feels like it's burning.
That's what he was doing.
Ricky plays the ball. Cameron. Nice little tip on and going through his Griffin. Well, that was sublime from Sonny Kerr. We almost missed it.
What a ball. Just great comms too. Clearly a setup. Structure was perfect. Pass was perfect. Run was perfect. Here we go again. Have a gander at this. Bang! And again, that's the difference between a team, like I said in the first half, a team that's played together for a long time. Almost you've got ESP between your players. You know where to go, how to run. You've got faith in your teammate. And that's something that only a team that's been together for a while knows how to do. That was sublime. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was class from Sonny Kerr. Catch pass.
Yeah, he's been in everything today.
It's been a key performer for them in this opening 44 minutes. Felt like the Sharks, they needed to start fast, and they set a tone with their defence. It was a good set. It was a silly penalty to give away, with no real advantage for standing up and giving that little push on the back of the head.
It was last. It was either fourth or last.
Yeah, it was late in the count.
There's no need for it. Yeah, it was a great defensive set. Freo wanted to move the ball really quickly, and they managed to slow them down.
Parkinson, he has his kick waved away, so 22 points to 8 on the cash converted scoreboard. 5 minutes into the second half.
See this again. There it is, look at that, that's beautiful.
So, it was David Quinlan, the 6, just sort of jammed in a little bit, and so that little catch pass took out 2 defenders.
Open it up like a can of sardines.
So, I know you see it all the time in the NRL, that catch pass, but it is a very difficult skill to actually execute in that situation.
Not just catch pass, but then hit your runner
at pace.
Clean at pace.
Yeah. There's a lot of elements you need to get right, and Sonny Kerr, well, he hasn't got a lot wrong here today. He's been great. Saw the team of the week. I think he might feature in that on
so.
next week's broadcast. The way he's going.
We've called it out now, so if he doesn't, get
Well, you never know. We're only watching one game. There might be a sensational halfback performance in one of the other 2 games going on at the moment. Sonny Kerr, he's been very good as Amare plays that one. Getting through and throwing the pass around the corner, so coming up with the error. The pass back to Webb. Webb looks to get around his opposite number in Parkinson. He shows enough wheels to do that before he runs into other contact, and Kerr tries to come up with a one-on-one strip. So the Roosters, after points, come up with a mistake. Give the Sharks an opportunity. Now it's Antonelli. And again, trying to rip that one out, Cameron. I thought there might have been 2 in the tackle. It should be 6 more in any case. It is, he waves that now. Worth will play the ball. The pass, though, was no good at all. Picked up by the Roosters, and they set sail for the try line. Going across field, Christie giving chase. Coming from behind, Webb makes the tackle. So it's Johnson that ran him down from behind. Now Kalukava, he's using some footwork, steps through the middle. So the Roosters, they turn defence into attack quickly. Cameron, he's got the Sharks retreating. They lift up the leg and make the tackle. Uteru, short ball, bouncing away from that Pomare. Ransfield makes that tackle. Terry goes out of dummy half, goes to Kerr, dummies, goes himself. Peter Worth says you're not getting a third the same way, but quick play the ball. Do they have numbers out here? Toa Parkinson towards the line, reaches out and gets it there. Well, a good finish. The Sharks had enough numbers out there, so he doesn't go out wide and just decides to do it all himself. Good footwork, gets through and gets to the line.
They may be a veteran team, this Roosters outfit, but a strength of them for quite some time has the ability, Don, to go from 0 to 1,000 just like that. They just turn a switch, and you've just got to be, as the defensive unit, you've got to be switched on because you know they could just do that. And every pass, every play of the ball in that set, moving up the ground. Of course, it was a turnover, but you just scramble. And This is
well. I mean, you go all the way up the other end of the field. The Sharks just got a repeat set.
And then dropped
At 6 again, and the first play is a pass that was miles over the head of his half. It wasn't a great pass from dummy half. The error is swooped upon by the Roosters, and within 6 plays they're up the other end, and they're dotting down for 4 points when it could easily have been the Rockingham
just
Sharks.
Just like that. Turn on a dime.
Thor Parkinson, he's struggled a little bit with the boot so far today. Trying to convert his own try. Gives himself an acute angle. Kicking is waved away again.
Kicking's been horrible today.
We have another look at Parkinson's work. Big right foot step twice and then straightens off the left. Bang. Damien Worth holds on down low grimly. Tries to delay him while the reinforcements arrive, and they just didn't get there in time. They've opened up a sizable advantage. 2 tries since the break. Gone from 18-8 to 26-8. This opening 10-minute period. Off over the top. Now Cameron. Play the ball. Work down with Gibson. No offload this time. Plays it back to Lateru. Now to Cameron. Cameron tips that on further. That ball's come out. I think it may have got a little help, but the referee didn't see it that way. And just signalling to the sideline there. Pukioriki. I think he was just tackling the arm and he's dropped it. I think the referee's got that one right. Loose carry, a chance for Rockingham. Scott feeds the scrum. Littleworth Jr. back in at dummy half. Works to the left-hand side with Wood. Punching him behind is Antonelli. So Scott into dummy half. Again, not a great pass from there. Comes across to Antonelli again. Put down centrally. They keep working to this left-hand side. Quinlan rolls it in behind. Parkinson has knocked on. They'll get another set. Knock on in goal, so there'll be a dropout. He was thinking about getting back into the field of play, but...
and the chase too, Don. The chase, don't just see it on replay here. He's just looked up, I reckon. This chase is actually pretty good. And yeah, I reckon he's just mindful of the runners.
There's a lot going through your mind as a fullback in those situations. Solomon with the dropout, and on the far side, there's a few in front of the kicker. So penalty to the Sharks. They want to go pretty quick. Hoff is waiting. They go away from him, and well, there was nothing to the left-hand side where he looked the second time, and he had a runner lined up. Worth has to take it himself. And Damien Worth gets to dummy half. A kick early there from Webb. Parkinson gets across and taps it over the dead ball line, but that was an all-or-nothing play from Cameron Webb on play 2. Rolls it in behind. He gets a result.
I don't mind it, Don, when he's been... I think he's been more he's had some challenges early, but he's had a pretty good. He's been effectual. Had some pretty good runs, as you mentioned. Dominique's got ball in hand. He looks good. This one is messy as.
Well, the Roosters go with a short goal line dropout. I think that's come off the Sharks into touch, and it'll be a Roosters ball.
So we've seen, yeah, 2 plays in a row off boots, just taking a bit of risk. Worked for the Sharks, not quite. It didn't work for them.
Short goal line dropout. It's all the rage nowadays. Jaden Solomon executes that one really well. The Sharks unable to stand up to the pressure. Some on the sideline thought the tackles was high there on Carver. Big contact there from the Sharks.
Came in for next week.
Peter Worth, he's really tried to lift his side, inspire his charges. They're showing good line speed, good physicality. Good yards out of dummy half. Solomon, he wants to quicker play the ball than he was allowed. Comes back to Kerr, who's under pressure. He puts it up high. They come forward to it. Contact, not. Well, we're going to come back for a penalty after it breaks down. Just ran straight through. Kiowa Scott, who was coming forward towards the ball, he just gets taken out by one of the chasers. And Peter Worth, he's come from the sideline after that heavy contact. Well, there's a touch finder for you. That's not something you see every day. Try and find touch with a grubber. Straight at the opposition.
Oh, it's a calamity at the moment.
Yep.
It's not pretty.
It's technically rugby league.
We've got some updates, Don. South Perth kicking away at Oval Park, 34-12. Around the grounds thanks to Cashies. Bears, looks like they've gone over again, 24-10. Against the Sea Eagles.
And put the Lions back on top alone. The Sea Eagles unable to mount a comeback. We're seeing now if the Sharks can mount a comeback, down 26 points to 8. Heading towards the hour mark. Christie Pickett back out there with the injury to Worth. Works the short side. Falling over in the defensive line there, Trent Griffin. Now Quinlan hits legs, played at. 6 more. Quinlan dummies to the outside, beats one. Takes the tackle. They come to the right, trying to barge over now Emery. Can't get the arm free for an offload. Solomon wrapped that up. Good pass out of dummy half. Turned underneath. Fighting in the tackle there. A little bit of a push gives away the penalty. Well, again, a silly one. Didn't need to be given. Sharks, they go to the left straight away with Webb. Oh. Webb is chopped down. There's a good tackle sliding across to make that one. Now Quinlan to Worth. Worth, he's worked really hard. Christie waits at dummy half. The pass on the bounce to Scott. Fends away from one. Goes back the direction he wanted to go. Emery, Scott wrapped around, didn't get the ball though. Might have been able to create something if he did. Christie out of dummy half. He picks up a runner. Howe towards the line. Offload back to Christie towards the line, and he's put back into the field of play. So Damien Worth jumps into dummy half. Fires it to the left. Quinlan. They go out and Wood, he slips over. None of the heroics from the first half. Quinlan Tries to roll it in behind. Wants a repeat set. It sits up nicely at the last minute. And Pomare has to take it over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout coming. Do we have another short one?
Well, it worked from the first time.
Watch the short, eyes up!
Here we go. Watch the short. Is the call from the Sharks bench. Is he going to do it again?
Eyes up!
It's definitely got enough height on it. It's gone straight. And Gibson takes it and then knocks it on.
Now, is he going to say knock on or is he going to say...
He's saying knock on.
Okay. So let's have a look at this. I think it was helped out.
He definitely has a slap at it.
Yep. As you say, Don, you have the right to put onto the ball.
Good play from Hoff. Stands out here now on the right-hand side in jersey number 3, but they go to the left.
I'm feeling a bit of deja vu here, Don.
What, another scrum? Or
you were speaking about this last night, weren't you?
Well, you feel
it's
like
a WA tradition.
Scrum penalty's coming.
It's a WA tradition. Got to have a scrum penalty, don't we? We're due for it. Haven't had one yet.
Not in this game just yet. Comes out to Lawton. He's been good. Handled easily that time. Quinlan dummies to the first runner, then gives it to Worth. Christie out a dummy half, goes to Scott, turns it underneath to Howe. Howe bounces away from Hicks. McKay has to make the tackle. Christie works the short side. Long pass. Stepping back infield is Wood. The Roosters handle it. Howe off the back fence. They don't go to him. Dummy and go and streaking through. A try to David Quinlan. And the Sharks, they ain't done with yet.
Well, for the last 5 minutes or so, they've been down this area. How many repeat sets and goal line droplets did we have? It was coming. They just had to string that last pass together, and we see here, it just dives over the line. Dummies to his right. Almost balls it up with the grounding.
We saw similar in the first half, Kerr, with a couple of show and goes and sliced through.
Yep.
The Sharks half showing that he can do the same. Dummy go, too strong, pulled through one tackle. I think it was Michael Tamara that missed him. And that's all it takes when you're that close to the line. Important conversion attempt.
18 change left. Don, is it still doable?
Absolutely. It'll be if he kicks the goal, it's a 12-point ball game.
And again, though, they've been down this end for quite some time. Last 5 to 7 minutes, multiple repeat sets, goal line dropouts.
Thank you.
They have played better in the second half, there's no doubt about that. And finally, we get a conversion.
Very sweet.
These are the flags. 26-14 on the cash converted scoreboard. 62 and a half gone.
Hey, just drop this and then Pops will go here.
To score.
George.
Potentially lock this up, and well, the Roosters, they'll start to get nervous if it starts to get close, because they've lost a few close games in recent times.
Don, you just put the mocker on him.
I'm not even sure who I put the mocker on.
Now, I don't know the rule here, Don, as a former referee. Did he make contact with that? Obviously, I think it fell off the tee, did it?
Well, that's what they're saying. Second attempt, better than the first. And dropped.
Oh, Lordy.
Well, the Rocks and Diamonds debut for Cameron Webb continues.
Oh, man. 2 steps forward. Well, they just need a good defensive set. And they defensively, they've been pretty good this half. But they're in a really, really difficult field position here against a team that can create something from nothing.
Yeah, they'll have something set up here. Centre field, 10 metres out. Solomon goes across to Kerr. Kerr has a couple of runners, turns it underneath. Hignett standing in the tackle. The Sharks, they don't concede straight from the scrum win. Takakaka ball. Runs into Lawton. Tries to slow it up. Cameron tips it on to Hicks. Hicks off the left foot. It's like Peter Worth back out there. He's recovered. Now to Parkinson. Parkinson with speed to Byrne. Gets there for his second, and the Sharks just couldn't handle the speed.
Too fast, too strong, too good. Here it is again. No, this is the lead up. Just gets good field position here. They slow the ball down to the Sharkies, but here's the run. Afterburners now. And again, strength. Took his tackler over the line. And that puts a damper in the Sharkies' comeback.
Well, it's pretty good vision, really, from Parkinson. Because you see on that replay, George Hoff raced up out of the line, and he's seen that, gone, I know where you're supposed to be, and he just ran to that gap. The fullback tried to plug that hole, but as you say, was too strong.
Too fast, too strong.
And the Sharks' comeback is short-lived. Griffin with the conversion attempt. To Tor Parkinson, he's sacked himself, I think, after some shockers, and given somebody else a go. And not much better there from Griffin. 30 points to 14. Looks like a hill too high now, as we have another look at the double for Parkinson. We might have a bit of a look around the grounds at the other games going on. South Perth look like they skipped well ahead of the Joondalup Giants, 44 points to 12. North Beach, they're not done with just yet, 30 to 16. They trail the Willagee Bears. And they were kicked off at the same time, so you'd imagine they've got about 15 minutes to make up that 14-point deficit, so they're up against it. But where there's life, there's hope. And the Sharks, they're trying to give their fans a little bit of hope as well. Managed to get the ball back. As Scott will go on the attack. Fires it out now. Off court high. This time the whistle goes. Trying to settle things down. Worth wants to get on with it. They come towards the middle. Antonelli bounces it away from one. He's put down. Christie at a dummy half, goes to Scott. To Worth. Worth straightens between defenders. They just hold on. McKay makes the tackle. Now Ransfield. He bounces off the first attempt from Kalu Carver. Now with Quinlan, he's going to kick towards space. It doesn't have
enough on it.
Well, I don't know whether the communication was there. I don't know. The outside chasers knew it was on. And it's covered up fairly easily by Lossack. Not quite the execution that was required in that situation.
No, it was way too deep, and the runners just didn't know what was going on.
And now a penalty. Well, now the Roosters trying to give the home fans a bit of a show. The touch finder. Again, caught the Sharks napping a little bit. Got more territory than he otherwise would have as Gibson takes the first carry. Kerr at dummy half goes to Griffin.
Oh, he's out.
There's a Sharks player down in back play.
He has not moved.
We go on as McKay.
He's up now.
The ball's hit the deck.
No, he is in strife. He is in strife. He was out.
So a Roosters player actually went over and got the attention of the trainer.
Oh, I get to see it here again.
Shut him down.
Morton it is.
So he's out. I don't know what he's hit, but he's out there.
He has had a sensational game, Kieran Morton. He's been very good for them.
He's coming off the ground now.
Unfortunately, by the looks of the vision we've seen, he might not remember too much about it. Back live now, the Sharks.
Shut him down.
Into this final 10. Want to finish strongly. They competed well here today. One of their better performances in recent weeks. Regardless of where this one finishes up, they'll have plenty to be proud of and plenty to work on for the rest of 2025 as Worth plays the ball. The Sharks' best for me, I think, Damien Worth.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Sean Scott puts it up high. Taken well. Oh, the Roosters fullback. He's got a couple to his name. Lossack.
Turn, George. Get up,
Kulukava. Takes that forward into contact and good post-contact meters there as well. Keeps driving with 3 on his back. Now Hicks. Up quickly. There was Christie. They come back for the kick. Again from Kerr. Another tester. And he's taken it. Well, that'll do wonders for the confidence of Cameron Webb.
He had a bit of a smile on his face too when he took that.
Scott. He's frustrated at not being allowed to play that ball a little quicker. The Roosters all over the ball. And Quinlan with similar complaints as they work down the short side now with Wood.
Toe on him.
Spiders on him, Kendra Wood. Been hard to tackle. Slippery customer. It's Howe. Gibson makes the tackle along with Hicks. 2 veterans pulling down Howe. Now Worth rolls it in behind. Parkinson gets forward. Well, he got down low and didn't get the bounce that he wanted, but cleaned it up nicely anyway.
Oh, he's saying he knocked it on, is he?
No, he's just sending him back to the mark to play the ball. The Roosters having to work it off their own try line. Gibson. Like they've largely shut up shop, the Roosters. Gibson hit pretty hard there and slow to his feet. Tucker Kakabau rolls one backwards. Comes back to Kibbo. Gibson gets through 2 tackles. Flick pass out the back. Bouncing out of tackles now is Lateru. Lateru put it down.
Dropped the pill.
Well, of course they did that the second I said the Roosters have shut up shop.
He's just trying to give the home crowd something, Don. Probably bit off a little. Probably a bit off a bit too much. Just saw the offload there. That was pretty good. Just behind the back, dashes on. That was it there. But a bit of flailing hand actually that helped that ball out, but still.
Well, again, worked hard to get back in defence and made solid contact. So deserved the error. for the Contactors, the Sharks. Up over halfway with Howe. Rolled around. Put down. Scott goes long out to Johnson. Johnson gets to the outside of his man. Cover defence can't get him. Stepping inside. Looks for a support runner. No one there. Takes the tackle. Still on here. Christie out of dummy half. I don't think the markers were square. Hoff now into dummy half. Goes across and stepping back in. Antonelli hits the deck on 5. Scott at dummy half, fires a long pass to Quinlan. Longer again out to Webb. Webb goes all the way out to Scott. Flick pass back inside. Put down and knocked on there by the Roosters. They'll get another set. Well, the exchange of passes there from Rockingham were all the way across the field in three passes.
There's a bit of backyard footy there, I reckon, Dono. Here we go.
We'll have another set of 6 here, the Sharks. They're looking to play out the full 80 and continue asking questions of the Roosters. What have they got from this scrum? Can they unleash the obvious speed that Cameron Webb seems to possess? Short ball to Hoff. Christie to Scott. Dummies, drops it. Picked up by the Roosters, Parkinson, Kalukava, he steps in field, gets out of the tackle, still going. And the ball comes free. Ratu with the error. Rockingham, well, they'll get another chance. There's a few tired looking bodies out there for the Sharks. So we have another look at the error. Kalukava.
It's been a lively second half from both teams. Pace has gone up a notch.
Deep from that scrum win to Quinlan. Now it comes out with Webb. The Roosters contain him once more. Damien Worth flung to the ground there by Tugga Kakabol. Underneath to Antonelli. Roosters offside. Howe wants a run and referee wasn't ready. Something he wasn't happy with. Michael Howe goes back. That's take 2. That current carry into contact. Throws away the marker. They go to the left-hand side. Quinlan goes out wide, stepping through towards the line, looking for a second. Can't get the pass over the top though, Wood. He's in the in-goal area. We'll have to go back and play it 10 metres out. The Sharks get a chance to reset, so do the Roosters. Quinlan. Underneath to Howe. Spins out of 1. Pulled to the ground. Quick play the ball. Quinlan to Scott. Scott to Worth. Worth just takes them on. Gets over the line.
Oh, is he down?
He's claiming the try. Referee's happy.
They want to go quick. I don't know if there's enough time left, but you never know.
Peter Worth Jr. with the try. Another player that certainly deserves it. He's tried to inspire this team. Coach of the Sharks. Gets his name on the score sheet. I don't know that he did score on that replay, to be honest.
Well,
went very close. It's on the scoreboard.
Need to convert this within 10 points. With don't know if there's enough time. Whoa, Donald Bell, look at that.
The North Beach Sea Eagles, they've come from the clouds.
10 minutes, they've scored 3 times.
It's 30 all between the Sea Eagles and the Bears. Moves in and waved away. 30 points to 18 on the Cash Converters scoreboard. We're inside the final 3 minutes. It's been a spirited showing as we have another look at the try from Worth, the try that was awarded. The touch judge would have been in a good position to see it. The referee seemed pretty confident as soon as he got in goal.
Yeah, he no indecision there. Oh!
Juggle from Scott. He fires the long pass across to Webb. After the juggle, they're looking to expand right now, Rockingham. And with Ransfield, gives it to Howe. Howe had the arm free, didn't look back to Ransfield. Christie goes to Scott. Scott out to Worth. Worth fires it across to Johnson on the fingertips and does well to stay in the field of play. Hoff from dummy half. Ransfield stepped past one. Now Quinlan up and under. Parkinson comes forward to it, tries to use the boot to stop it. The Sharks getting through and getting to the ball. Scott has got to the ball and knocked it on. Well, did everything but score.
That's a siren.
That's the full-time siren sounding.
They're going to... No, I play it out. No, that is the end.
I think that's it. That's it. Game is over, so he's blown full time. We're not going to have the tap restart. The siren came before the restart, so that is full time here at the Treeby Community and Sports Centre. If you want to go and play Premiership Round 8 clash, the Fremantle Roosters running out 30 points to 18 winners. Yeah, I mean, a good performance overall. The Roosters will be happy to get the 2 points after 3 consecutive losses, but the Sharks with plenty to take from it as well.
Yeah, they put much better in the second half. I thought if they managed to find that in the first, it would have been a different result as we see. Oh, what's going on there? Jeepers. Oh, my Lord. The North Beach Eagles have pinched something from nothing. How many is that they've put on in the space of 10 minutes, Don? That is...
Well, that was a 14-point margin with about 10 to play, and... scoreline we're looking at, the Seagulls leading 36-30, and the Bears, they've let that one slip. And the Seagulls will stay equal at the top of the ladder.
I'll tell you what, how good's the competition at 25? How good is it?
Just about every game you go into, you're not quite sure what the result is going to be.
Over. This is a fantastic... Mate, everything's coming up rugby league right now. It's fantastic. This is a great season. And I'll tell you what, it was entertaining. If I can be honest, that game, the first game we saw them against the Lions, they were pretty horrible.
Yes.
Let's be honest. It was not a good day out. It wasn't a great game of footy. Today, they've gone down. But I tell you what, it was a good game of footy. It was entertaining. And there's a lot they could take from this. I mean, there's probably at least 12 points there that they gave the Roosters in some pretty bad either discipline or handling errors. So plenty to take out of it. And they've got some pretty good youngsters too in this team. You know,
I think that's the key point. I think the Rockingham Sharks are well aware as to who they are in 2025 and what they've got to work with, and you know the future looks pretty good if they can keep this core group together for a few seasons. They'll be tough to stop in a couple of years, but it does feel like we've said that about Rockingham before, where they have had groups of really talented youngsters come through the system in the past. They haven't been able to keep them together. Hopefully they can keep this group together, because if they do, I think the future's pretty bright.
Yeah, good things.
Anyway, it's a good performance from the Fremantle Roosters. They've won this one 30-18. They'll maintain touch with the top three, particularly with the Willagee Bears going down. They moved within a couple of them. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back to do it all again next week. See you then.
There's a little bit of expectation now to hold on to that top 4 and build a finals campaign. Is there a couple tricks up the sleeve, or is it all just the